Hey guys, it's Indy. I'm thinking about doing some more r/, but I wanted to delve into something new, so we're going to be doing some petty revenge today. See how that goes. Embarrass me in front of my friends. I'll embarrass you in front of the airport. So my brother and I used to prank each other back and forth regularly a few years ago when I still lived at home. One day, I'm sitting in my room hanging out with some friends, and he walks in and says, "Look what I found under my brother's bed." And then he proceeds to lift my mattress and reveal a dildo where he had left it earlier that day. Everyone gets a good laugh at my expense, and my brother makes a fatal error. He leaves the dildo in my possession. Fast forward a month and a half, my brother's on his way to see a friend on the other side of Canada. I slipped a dildo I've been holding onto his carry-on right before he leaves the house. It was a gel dildo, so I inserted a long steel rod inside in hopes it would set off the alarm at security and get him searched. A couple hours later, my phone rings. It's my brother. He's calling, still embarrassed, to let me know I had won our war, and security had made him pull the dildo out in front of everyone. The best part was he was hitting it off with this cute girl in line behind him who was taking the same flight. However, the conversation ended quite abruptly. Edit. To answer the questions about the steel rod, this wasn't done last second. I had inserted the rod about a week prior to knowing his trip was coming up with the plan in mind. Very easy to pull off, using a thin drill bit, slightly smaller than the rod itself, about the thickness of a nail. Drill up the center of the backside, insert the rod, ready to go. Not gonna lie, I feel kind of bad for OP's brother, because could you imagine just really hitting it off with somebody and then you have to pull a freaking dildo out of your carry-on at the airport? That must have been so embarrassing. Not that him embarrassing him in front of his friends wasn't bad, but the whole airport, yeah, he definitely won the war. Want my pizza? You can wear it then. I posted this on another story, and then the more I thought about it, the more I realized it belonged here. When I was 16, my dad and I went to a pizza place that had a buffet that started right at the set time. On the point. The first 2 pizzas were brought out no sooner. Well, I'd worked my way around so that I was in the front of the line and my dad was stuck in the back. So I grabbed a couple extra pieces for him. All of a sudden, some woman gets in my face and tells me, "You certainly grabbed enough, so why don't you give me some?" and took a few pieces. My dad looks at me and asks me what I'm going to do. So I walk to her table and tell her, "Lady, I got that pizza for me," and try to take it back. She covered them with her hand, so all I could get was the toppings. I then said F that and told her that if she wanted it so bad, she could keep it, and tossed it on her shirt. The rest of the story is that it took her husband 3 beers to come up to our table and try to talk to my dad, who told him to go away because he already knew the story. The guy tried to one-up my dad by saying, "You'd take the word of a child over that of a pregnant woman?" My dad took off his glasses and told him that with those he had 20/20 vision, and he watched the whole thing, and to get out of his face or he wouldn't be standing there for long. My dad's a Vietnam vet, so I knew he could back it up, and I still love the fact that he had my back on this day. Yeah, look, I don't care if the lady was pregnant or not, I have no sympathy for her. I have no sympathy for people who think that they're entitled to things just simply because they think they're entitled to them. How dare you come up to me? The way OP worded this is that he already had taken the pizza, put it on his plate. This lady comes up and takes the pizza off of his plate. The nerve. The nerve. I would have threw the pizza on the front of her in that moment. I wouldn't have waited until I got back to her table. She would have been wearing that as soon as she took it away from me. For real. Leave your loud ass ticking time bomb of a dog on the balcony by itself? Okay, let me set it off. It's against the rules to leave your dog unaccompanied on your balcony. This one has a loud bellowing bark and for a year has been left outside by itself to annoy everyone. The owner also leaves the door open so it can wander in and out. Many complaints have come in, so the neighbor now yanks the dog in a few minutes after it starts to bark, but it should be out there anyways. It used to bark anywhere from 10 to 40 minutes almost daily. So the dog is outside today for a half an hour by itself, and I don't care to be surprised when it wildly starts barking at people walking their dogs, the mailman, bigger trucks, people walking by, etc. So I play back about 15 seconds of a video I recorded of itself on one of its 20-minute runs, and it starts howling. Less than a minute later, the owner pulls it inside and closes the door. It's not a long-term solution, but I'm hoping the neighbor gets the point very soon. I am never going to be an advocate for animal abuse, but I don't really think this is animal abuse. It's just on OP's part. Not the owner. owner definitely shouldn't be leaving her dog out there unaccompanied, especially if she knows she's not supposed to. And I have tons of dogs in my neighborhood that like bark constantly 24/7, and it's pretty freaking annoying. But the OP already said that she went to her complex's office and left complaints, and then other people have left complaints and a whole bunch of other stuff. So at this point, it's really like there's nothing for her to do but get a little bit malicious. Want free pizza? Join a damn rewards program instead of wasting my time. Very short backstory. I, a 23-year-old female, have worked at the same pizza chain place for over 6 years. From quite beginner to cornerstone of our store assistant manager. I probably have a novel's worth of stories similar to this, but in this one, I was able to have a little fun. Short story. We had a customer, we'll call her Monica, who ordered somewhat frequently. Somewhere along the line, Monica decides she deserves to get her pizza for free. She would call and order something innocuous for delivery. After the driver delivered her food, she would call and say it's incorrect and ask for the credits to be put on her account for a future order. As this lady was somehow always leaving the country immediately after having her food delivered, since the driver didn't immediately have to go back, it was easy to forget about these changes by the end of the night. By the time we caught on, she'd been getting away with it every time she ordered for at least a couple of months. At this particular pizza place, we could flag certain accounts of people who had been problem customers. So we did this to Monica's account. If she were to call and place an order, she would be told she needed to come pick up her food. Problem is, the flag only associated by the phone number. Over the next couple of months, Monica used approximately 15 different phone numbers to order and complain about her food and dupe my innocent order takers, as if we didn't notice. Now to the day in question. At this point, I was around 19 or 20, already an assistant manager and running a winter Sunday day shift. I'm thinking late February since the Super Bowl had passed. It was around 10:15 a.m. and we opened at 11. Monica calls, and yes, even though we're not open, I answer the phone. She gives me the same song and dance, and she says there should be a credit on her account from an incorrect order from Friday night, and that she would like to use it. This is when my "this should be interesting" smirk creeps onto my face. I ask her for the phone number on the order. She gives me one. The last order under the phone number is from November, I tell her. She gives me another. Same deal. The order's from months ago. Rinse and repeat as Monica's getting audibly more upset. I finally find the order, but there's no credit attached. Monica, who has gotten smarter, manages to pull a name of one of my employees out of the depths of her self-absorbed mind and says that they are the person with whom she spoke, and she said the employee confirmed. When I get to the point where she wants to place an order, I now have to tell her that we cannot deliver to her address. We still weren't open at this point, but I guess it slipped my mind. Cue short disagreement. I tell her I cannot override the flag, a lie, and that only my boss can. Another lie, and that she never works Sundays. Truthful. Eventually, she hangs up and decides to come in to the store to order instead. My delivery driver and I watch with delight from the office in the back as she walks up to the locked door, tries it, looks in, tries again, and walks away. The phone rings, I answer. Monica's asking why the door is locked. I politely inform her that we do not open for another 30 minutes, but she's welcome to place an order once we open. She sat in her car for a while, but eventually just left. Since then, it would seem that Monica finally got the hint. She orders delivery every once in a while to a different address, but we haven't had a problem with her in over a year. Not sure if me serving her some delicious draft of inconvenience she'd been giving us for months had anything to do with it, but I think it does. I've always wondered what it would be like to work at a pizza chain, like as a delivery or just work there in general, just to know what it's like to deal with ignorant people like this on a daily basis. Because when you work in like just really any fast food joint, you're gonna get people like this on a daily basis. I mean, I've worked retail, so I know all about irritating people and irritating customers who think that they are entitled to whatever they ask just because they're a customer. You're not Sally. Get in line like the rest of the customers. But also, I really like this space background, so I might just like stick with this one. I was just like trying to find backgrounds that like kind of were relevant to the story, which was pretty fun, but I kind of like this space one. It just kind of seems very universal. See what I did there? But yeah, that was r/petty revenge. The stories were pretty okay. I just really don't think anything can be r/young people YouTube. That was the funniest subreddit I have seen in a long time, and I definitely will be going back with a proper OBS setup next time. I'm not sure how I managed to mess that up, but yeah, that's it for now. Bye.